Hello everyone and welcome back to Dawn of War 3. It's been a while, but as of the request of, I do believe one of my subscribers, is it? Asier Calvo, who is actually in this map playing as the Space Marine in the bottom left side of the map. I will be casting one of his matches. It's going to be a bit of a cast in terms of I will just be reacting to everything and giving it, you know, play-by-play breakdown, and yeah, I will make of it what I will. So, without further ado, let us hop in and do some introductions, shall we? In this 2v2 game of Dawn of War 3 on Morks Myers. So, as mentioned, in the bottom left, we have Bot I Wrecked This Guy, --arrow, who is Asier Calvo himself. So, naturally, we will be focusing a little bit on him and his play. And he is playing alongside his Eldar ally, Coronara. And then, they're going to be the red team, by the way, so I might refer to them as red team whilst I cast. And in the bottom, the top right corner, for the blue team, we have an Orc player going by the name of Sade. And in the bottom right, we have a Space Marine player going by the name of Dadko. So, it looks like the first point of contention in this game of Dawn of War 3 is going to be, in this topmost resource node. There's a boy squad here. And as mentioned in my previous Dawn of War 3 coverage, the Orc Boy Squad as an early starting unit is very powerful. However, this is excellent play by the Eldar player, as they are successfully kiting the Orc Boy Squad and forcing it to back off, even though they've got some buddies with these shooter boys coming up, and they've got a cheeky forward base here. Sadly, the Orcs will have to try again another day, as the Eldar player has successfully pushed them off for now. And elsewhere on the map, we've got the bottommost point taken by the blue team on the right, and the center briefly capped by the red team, which is the team of Asier Calvo himself, as mentioned. So, with these Howling Banshees entering the field, there's not much that the Orc player can actually do to stop this. Banshees actually just absolutely shred shooter boys, as naturally shooter boys are ranged units, and Banshees are dedicated assault units, so, you know, it's a bit of a bad matchup in that sense. But going too close to the forward base itself, that is a risky prospect indeed. So for now, the Eldar player will have to content themselves with simply capturing the northernmost point and pushing off the Orc player, which is still a very good effort by them. And looks like a Warg tower is going up as well. In the center, the Space Marine player Asier Calvo is building a listening post, so this will prevent something pesky like a simple worker unit or a scout squad from just decapping it, which is super annoying, so just stacking that on there, fantastic move. And yeah, we see the Orc boys finally getting some good chopper action against some Dire Avengers, which is a fantastic thing for them to do. And some drop-podded Space Marine tactical units. Drop-podded in, they aren't actually too fantastic if they get drop-podded in the middle of some boys. However, coupled with the Banshees, they're an excellent support unit. As the drop-pod does some knockback, then they back off, and particularly with the Flamers they're upgraded with. And you can see here, Asier is using these Flamers to fantastic effect. So many Orcs died. Look at all the blood on the ground. That is absolutely brutal. And this just means that the red team can just push in on the Warg tower, on the forward base, destroy any reinforcing squads that are being made, such as what looks like, what is that? An Orc Boy squad, there we go. And even with the reinforcing Storm Boys, what can blue team really do? They're getting grenaded, as Asier did come packing with the frag grenade upgrade, so yeah, his tacticals are doing excellently well in this initial engagement. And the Orc player is very much at risk of losing this forward base. No! Down it goes. Down for the count. And they also lost the Warg towers, so they're going to be taking a good minute after this engagement concludes to rebuild some of their infrastructure, which definitely sucks for them. The Storm Boys naturally being pushed off, but with their ability to jump, they shouldn't go down unless they get horrifically mismicroed. And now they are transitioning their successful defense of this forward generator to taking out the forward base and to doing some good damage on the shield generator itself. So this is just escalating in power here. A red team getting an excellent start. This is absolutely brutal work. Naturally, as soon as a heavy support weapons unit such as the Heavy Bolter Devastator Squad turns up, assaulting the shield generator becomes quite tricky to do. So they have to back off, but you know, I think they're happy with how that fight went. They made a listening post, they shoved off a forward base, made the Orc players' life a living hell, more or less, and yeah. In short, they did a good bit of winning. And here we are, the listening post, doing a lot of good work here. Although, what do we see here? A little bit of... I don't even want to call this harass or bashing. This is just a ninja squad of Storm Boys and Orc Boys just going to whack this listening post into the ground. And there it goes. Okay. A very successful ambush of that stationary building indeed. But what do we see here? Red team is moving for the counterattack. The Orc Boys, they smell something's up. They smell the squeaky clean bodies and armor of an Eldar warhost, and they want to get out. But it's too late. They've been ambushed. No, that's not a fight you can take. No. Orcs, why? The Storm Boys, they cap the point, but for how long? They've been chopped into quite badly by the Striking Scorpion squad and the supporting Banshee squad, so as you would expect, they lose that center fight. Ooh, but we've got a bit of spicy Chaplain Diomedes action here. I love Chaplain Diomedes as a unit. The fact that he can just, in the early game, do so much disruption while staying alive, it's so powerful. Just being able to generate shield after shield and then generate some health, which allows you to stay alive just long enough to generate another shield. He can be an absolute menace, and I do believe we will be seeing him being used quite effectively this game, which is lovely. And we can see here, after removing the Orc player's forward base here, the Eldar player decides to, you know, trade favorably, trade like for like, and make their own forward base. You know, who knows? Maybe this will get destroyed in the future as well. Who knows? But fantastic move. As you can see, it makes reinforcing an absolute doddle in this early stage of the game, and it, you know, makes reinforcing in terms of making new squads much easier as they spawn much closer to the front line. And yeah, it really does help in just escalating a pre-existing advantage and continuing it further. So the Eldar player, as we can see, very interested in just making sure that this northernmost resource point does not go down. In the center, the blue team have actually made a bit of a central kind of defensive position. They've got a bunch of heavy weapons teams, looter boys there, we've got a heavy bolter devastator squad there, a couple of tacticals, and a nice warg tower as well. So, you know, that could end badly for the red team if they attack there, but they are not. This is a key, good, very excellent and well thought out move by Asier Calvo. Just moving on the south where the other team is not, just preventing and denying them from taking a good fight with all of their forces stacked together, and instead attacking and moving where they are not, using the red team's map advantage and map control really to the fullest extent, which is, you know, smart play. Very smart play indeed. A grenade goes in, disrupts some tacticals, but doesn't do much damage. Striking Scorpions leap in. Chaplain Diomedes is in the thick of this. Let's hope he gets some work done. Oh, the Devastator squads, they're being disrupted repeatedly. Kill Team Ironmore, they've been dropped in. Let's see where the grenade goes. Hits the tacticals, but not much more than that. So not really a huge deal, but these looter boys are getting huge amounts of damage done here. As we can see, the Striking Scorpions have been absolutely annihilated in terms of health. And they do go down, as you can see there, last model gone. Kill Team Ironmore likewise have taken a pounding and continue to do so from these Orc boys. Banshees spawn just in time to countercharge the Storm boys from the Orc player, who are supported, by the way, by Chaplain Diomedes. And this is a great combination that's not thought of much. The fact that Chaplain Diomedes with his AoE shields can actually work very well with other melee units. And which race has the most melee units? Well, the Orc race. It's a great synergy there, so that's pretty cool to see. What's happening? The listening post is getting a bit of damage in. Not much, but a little bit. Not bad. Diomedes is doing a 1v1 man fight, or should I say lady fight, with Farseer Maka. Farseer Maka naturally doesn't win that one-on-one. However, she has a lot of tricks, such as not dying for one, for surviving the fight at least, which is pretty good. In the meantime, Gabriel Angelos has been dropped down by our good friend Boss I Wreck This Guy, Asier himself, and he is doing his very best to cause so much disruption, which is what makes him so powerful as an elite choice. The fact that he has 3 sources of disruption is huge. He can critical strike, he can use that spinny thing, and he can do that. Thank you, Gabriel, for showcasing your skill set so capably to the camera. There's a lot of duels happening. First there was Farseer Maka and Chaplain Diomedes, and now there is Gabriel against the Commando Knob. We've got some Dark Reapers just doing some long range shooting here. And, ooh, Diomedes gets ambushed. Oh, it's not the end though. It's not the end. He refuses to die. This is insane. This is the power of Chaplain Diomedes. Look at him. He was on a slither of health. No shields. Getting shot at by like 4 tactical squads. And yet he's still alive this far into the fight. This is insane. Wow, what a guy. What a guy. And now Team Blue calls in their Deathstorm drop pod, supporting the good Chaplain there. His faith, his unwavering faith in the Emperor is rewarded with lots and lots of gunfire. Excellent. If that isn't 40k in a nutshell, I don't know what is. Okay, he's charging back in. He has no fear. He just does not give, anything. He doesn't give anything. But he does die in the end to the combined might of 3 tactical squads in melee and the sad remnants of a Howling Banshee squad. So that's that. Blue team looks like they're finally going to lose this. There's a lot of tacticals here who are doing okay, but these heavy bolters and this Deathstorm drop pod are doing so much damage. Whoa! They are getting shredded, quite literally. Oh, the Devastator's being repositioned slightly for a bit of a better angle. And now they can focus as well, once again with the Deathstorm drop pod, on the Scorpions, who once again get just pushed into the dirt. And Blue team, actually for once, have successfully pushed off Red team from the northernmost point. Not bad, not bad. And now they can get rid of this Webway gate, they can get rid of the Deathstorm drop pod. Oh no, this is Red team's 2 Deathstorm drop pods from Asier himself. Boss I Wreck This Guy. These are his drop pods, and they are doing a lot of work. As you can see, 2 boy squads. They are definitely not going to do too well against this armored unit. Yeah, and it looks like Blue took a fair bit of damage from those 2 drop pods, which is pretty nice. And now Wraithguard are here to reinforce the north of the map. And this is probably the most tech-heavy unit in the game at the moment. If we take a look, so we've got Wraithguard, Deathstorm drop pods, Looter Boys, which don't really count. Yeah, these Wraithguard are quite literally the beefiest and most expensive unit in the game at the moment. Excellent at taking down objectives on the map, excellent at taking down vehicles, and yeah, basically fantastic units. Expensive, but pretty fantastic. The only thing they're not good at is close quarters combat, but that's why you have other supportive units around them to prevent them from getting tied up in such scenarios. Looks like Red team, Asier, is going to build a listening post on the southernmost resource point, and here we can see, even though Blue took a good fight in the north, they haven't been able to push Red off completely, and so now Red has complete economical and just map advantage here. They have all the vision, they have all the income once they build some generators, and yeah, they are in a dominating position here. It looks like Bot I Wreck This Guy, which is my loyal subscriber. He has a couple of whirlwinds on the field, inserts a nice bit of supportive artillery firepower, which is pretty damn nice. Especially against an Orc player. If the Orc player takes his eye off his army for a second and just stands still, you can get a lot of work done with a couple of whirlwinds in a good position. Ooh, there's a bit of a contentious fight here in the middle. There's a lot of firepower from the blue team here. Loads of looter boys and heavy bolter squads from the Space Marine player for blue team. And we can see how much damage they're doing. Gabriel, even though he's, you know, quite a tanky guy, 4,000 hit points. He is taking a lot of damage. Already sort of quarter health-ish. However, red team are holding in. Here comes some reinforcing Eldar forces. The Eldar Banshee units being excellent at just charging in, tying up heavy support units that have to set up, as they are so slow at de-setting up and running away, their movement speed typically being quite low. There they go down to some Wraithguard fire. That Banshees can really do well in that scenario. And here we go, look at them. Even though they're taking damage, they just completely counter the setup heavy weapon unit. And Gabriel doing work here. His knockback capability just ensuring that these heavy setup units get killed and wiped off of this game. Let's see if he gets the kill. Okay, he leaves because the Commando Knob turns up. The Commando Knob has a lot of Daka with his boomstick, which is essentially just a double-barreled shotgun. He gets 2 shots, and each shot hurts like, well, like a lot. That's the Whirlwind's artillery fire there. Where is it positioned? It is positioned there. You can see the range. So powerful. So powerful. Diomedes, sadly, doesn't look like he's going to survive this particular fight. Completely outmatched and outgunned. Oh, he's trying though. He's trying so hard. And he makes it. No, he goes back into the fight. No, you can see his shield. It's shrinking. And he gets shot down by the Wraithguard. Execution squad, firing squad just lined up, shot him down in his final moments of glory and honourable service to the Emperor himself on the Golden Throne. Wow. This has been action-packed. I see why you sent in this replay. This has been an absolute murder fest. If that is even a phrase, a statement that I can use, I will use it anyway. Ooh, and we can see what the Eldar player is trying to go for in terms of his build. He's got a ton of ranged firepower with these Wraithguard units, but as mentioned, they're not great in melee. So how do you support them? Well, you have a bunch of your own melee units that can countercharge any, you know, attempted charge from your opponent. If a bunch of Orc boys charge at these Wraithguard, the Banshees can countercharge the Orc boys and prevent them from getting in, and permitting the Wraithguard to just continue firing and unleashing their fairly impressive Daka, particularly when you consider that the Eldar player is running with the Rift Blast doctrine, which allows him to convert his Wraithguard's damage into normal, instead of armor piercing, which makes it better against infantry and the like. Oh, as you can see, there's a bit of a fight in the south. Let's see what actually happened. Well, either way, the Orc player is very committed to the south, and that completely exposes the northernmost shield generator for the blue team, for the Eldar player to just snipe it. And the damage of the Wraithguard to objectives is absolutely obscene. So it goes down very quickly without too much difficulty. And yeah, not bad. See, we've got a whirlwind back here. Another whirlwind being shipped in via Thunderhawk, as you would expect. The Eldar player set up for a bit of a fight here. The Orc player posturing, going back and forth. He really wants these resources off of this resource node. But as we can see, having all of the vision here, he is, you know, this is a bad place to fight. There's a lot of melee units here ready to engage any Orc boy squads that get too close, and the Wraithguard themselves, as mentioned, can do a lot of work. Ooh, the southernmost shield generator was actually taken out, so I completely missed that. So this puts the blue team completely on the back foot. They have to play so defensively from this point on in order to stay in the game. As if they go too far out on the map, they can just get, you know, a bunch of enemy units in their base, taking out, you know, a bunch of production buildings, a bunch of ward towers, the turret, and who knows from there, you know, the power core itself, the whole objective of this particular game mode. So I actually love the movement from Asier here, who's going by the name of Bot I Wrecked this guy. The fact that he is continuing to put units in the south continues to split up the forces of the right-hand side blue team. And yeah, it forces them to consider, will I get attacked from the south or the north? And I'm guessing he's communicating with his teammate, the Eldar player, as this is just great strategy in general. And it's working. You can see the blue team Space Marine player is shifting his forces to the south, even though they know there's a bunch of Eldar units in the north. Ah, man, this cannot end well. This cannot end well for our blue team friends. Gabriel Angelos for Asier getting a ton of work in once again. What a guy. What a guy. And even though the Space Marine player will probably, you know, successfully defend this minor push in the south, well, the Eldar player is making the most of it in the north. He wipes out a shield turret. Not a shield turret, a turret. And he's continuing to push in. He'll probably take out these warg towers, possibly even some of these production buildings for the orc player. You know, anything could happen. There goes one tower, nearly. And Asier is still in the south. He successfully defended this resource point, which is, you know, continuing their team's resources and economical advantage here in this game. Oh, man. And this is not great. All of the forces of blue team are committed to the south. And this means that the Wraith Guard have successfully basically just wiped out a turret and 2 warg towers completely for free. Very great movement there on the map. Pretty fantastic, that. Pretty fantastic. And we see the Wraith Knights on the field for the Eldar player. This is pretty sick. Let's switch to the Eldar point of view here. Get a nice zoom in. I mean, how cool is that unit to look at? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. So this is the problem. Once you're behind, it's so hard to come back. You've lost the map control, and if you've lost map control, then you've lost the vision. You don't have as much information as your opponents do. And yeah, you have to play defensive because, you know, you're so exposed. The whole objective of this game and how you win is this structure right here. And so you have to defend it. You have to defend it. We see some whirlwind fire. Where is that coming from? Ah, there's a couple of whirlwinds here. So Asier is just bombarding the orc units here. And you can see they've taken a fair amount of damage from those 2 whirlwind bombardments, which is not too shabby at all. The Eldar player just holding fire in the north, waiting for the opposing armies to move to a further away position, most likely. Oh man, I think we can see where this game is going to end up, but let's finish the fight, so to speak. Both teams currently just sitting back in their laurels, accumulating units, accumulating upgrades, all that good stuff. Making, is that a webway gate in the front? Yeah, it is. So that's a nice move, just boosting the movement speed of these Wraith units by quite a good percentage. And the Space Marine player amassing his forces in the south. And the range of the Wraith Knight allows it to just snipe the upgrade that was upgrading there. It was actually nearly done. It was like 95% done. So that sucks for the Orc player. And I think that it is about to suck even more for the blue team in general. So here we go. A bunch of Space Marine units pushing in the south from Asier. And meanwhile, the Eldar player is attempting to push in from the north, and you can see Asier is just kind of reinforcing his Eldar friend in the north here. The Orc player, to be fair, is getting stuck in, and these the taunts from the Orc Nob squads are definitely going to be very valuable here. The fact you could see the effectiveness of them. The Wraith Knight was stuck in place, locked in place for a good amount of time. But will it be enough? I don't think so. There's so much stuff for the red team compared to blue. I think they've just been outnumbered at this point. Super abilities coming down. We're seeing Asier's orbital bombardment ability here, and that's a rock strike, being fairly close to the Wraith Knight, but that will retreat and get out of the range of the rock strike. We see some Space Marine units coming in from the tippy top of the map, but they're going to get a bit shredded by these looter boys, and there are still just enough units to push them back and wipe them out. But the Eldar forces are completely undamaged, and yeah, at this point, how do blue win? How do they win? So we see the Eldars got their ultimate ability unit thing, the Stormcaller machine, I guess if you want to call it that. The Wraith Knight's doing a bit of laser bombardment, and we're about to see an absolute pummeling on this objective. Oh, one volley, and it's already down to below half. Yeah, this is over. GG, well played. What a game. What a game. So, with that having concluded, thanks for sending that in, Asier, Calvo. That was a very awesome match. It makes me wish I had been able to see the first match you'd suggested, because apparently that was even more epic than this one was. So, wow, that must have been a hell of a match itself. But yeah, thanks for sending that in. That was a lot of fun to cast. That was a good 30-minute long match. Wow, not bad, not bad. So yeah, thanks for sending that in. That was pretty damn cool. I hope this was entertaining and what you were expecting. And yeah, as always, guys, for everyone else watching, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good jazz, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!